in your spot. I'm having my second magic mind of the day. I didn't do the best of jobs creating healthy boundaries or self-care boundaries. Sometimes I get into exuberance and contribution, and I need someone to go, Allana, can we get back to reality? You need to replenish. So I just finished my 2-day VIP, which really is like 4 days by the time they come, do the 2 full days, do all of the recap and get them on their way back to the airport. So I really appreciate the, what is it called? Like slow, nourishing, sustainable energy I get from doing my magic mind, the ginger, the cinnamon, the hot water, as opposed to like a cup of coffee, which kind of gives you that spike, but then you're all like jittery. And I even put in my calendar, go for a hike. But then I've got a client later today, maybe another call with people I'm doing my PSI certification with to kind of get to know them better, so that by the time we go through that experience, we're really safe and connected with one another. Anyways, I'm doing my best. And I'm remembering the podcast with Shane, who teaches me so much. She's 20-ish years my senior, and yet my complete soul sister. Yet she's been through like a health scare, and she's lost like 40 pounds. And she's really prioritizing the whole body, mind, spirit. She's always been like super connected spiritually, but really to have that intimate relationship that she desires, the adventures, the sensuality, is making sure she and her body are one. Communion, health, connection. So I think you're really going to enjoy this podcast. The other thing I think you're really going to enjoy that's with me as well is she came into the coaching for relationship with the beloved. And yet when we do the inner work, any residual blocks of intimacy with self, spirit, body, child, could be vocational, financial, anything that's going to be there is going to come up, because our intimate relationship with ourselves is the core fundamental building block of our entire life. So it's been so wonderful to hear, and you'll hear in the interview, the breakthroughs in communication with her son, deeper vulnerability, collaboration, celebration, transparency than ever. And I feel that that's a sign, because he's a son, masculine, that deepening is practice for her as she attracts her beloved. So enjoy this beautiful soul, Shane.
Welcome to Intimate Conversations, Soul Medicine. Intimacy is an inside job. Hello, delicious people, and welcome to another episode of Intimate Conversations, Season 11, Soul Medicine. And today we're talking about self-love. We're talking about self-forgiveness. We're talking about self-worth with one of my favorite people on this entire planet. This is Shane. Shane, believe it or not, is wearing a dress that she wore 25 years ago on her birthday. And she just had her 75th birthday. I know that's hard to believe. This gorgeous goddess is 75. I cherish you, Shane. You are one of my Allana Pratt method coaches. You hold space every single week for me and the other coaches. You allow me to go so deep and feel so held, and you express so deeply your truth. You are so connected spiritually. You are so vibrantly alive. And yes, you, and even just what you're wearing and your art on the back of the walls, you have a better set than I do. I'm really glad we can just be girlfriends today and share about our journey coming together. Yeah, I love you with all my heart. Happy birthday again, the whole month. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I want to know first, because the very first time we met is because you signed up for the certification to be an Allana Pratt method coach. Did you know of me before? How did you even find me? Like, how did it all start?
I have to give a dear friend of mine, Sue Lynn, called me one day and she said, I think you need to know this person.
She's the one that does the Oracle cards, right?
No,
Oh, that's
she's
different.
a friend of mine through my spiritual journey with training in power.
Oh, got it. Okay. Thank you.
So, and she said, and so I said, I looked you up, and I went, I want to know her. I want to know her. So I called you. I didn't get you, but I got someone else, in your system. And I just started asking questions because I thought I would do counseling with you or, whatever. And then this person that I was talking to just said, I think you ought to be a coach. And I'm going, what? What are you talking about? So 1 week later, I just went, you know what, here, any time in our life, we can get stuck.
Yeah.
And I felt like it's not that I was exactly stuck, but I could keep doing things the way I've been doing and have things be exactly the same. And that wasn't working for me then. So I jumped off the cliff and
into my arms.
Yeah, into your arms. Exactly. So, one of the best things I've ever done.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
So that, like a week later, I'm on video Zoom call with you, starting to learn your the Allana Pratt coaching methods.
Yeah. Thank you. How did
you?
Thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
What was the first thing that flushed up for you if we're going to be having this conversation around self-worth, self-forgiveness, self-love? What did being in the group, knowing you're going to be tested, going through my deep processes, they're not just cognitive analysis. They all invite you to feel deeply. What was the first thing that came up for you that we were able to resolve?
I am a feeler. So feeling is not, I feel, but it was about going further than feeling, maybe giving myself an opportunity with myself, doing the self processes or having another coach processing with them, to take it to the next step, to go, okay, well, what's that feeling about? Go deeper with the feeling, so that there was some recognition or awareness of where that feeling was coming from.
Yeah. Stay there for a second, because this is brilliant. Because sometimes, well, I'll speak for myself. In the past, before I learned how to, I'll call it integrate or process a feeling, I would not feel the feeling. I would push the feeling away and I would just do fakey fake face, right? And because if I ever felt the feeling, it was too overwhelming. I didn't know what to do with it. It made things worse. I felt like a drama queen. But then when I learned, emotion, energy and motion, we can take this feeling and through these different processes, we can change the vibration of it from sadness or pain or shame or these kind of things into allowance and confidence and strength and courage. And then all of a sudden my brain worked better. Like my heart was open. I was coherent. I had these insights where I could hear my intuition. Like I didn't know I could make the emotion turn into my superpower. It was just something to get rid of. So tell us more as you began to feel feelings and have a journey to take them on. What happened?
Well, the other thing is, from my experience, it's really easy to go down the rabbit hole with feelings.
Sure.
So now I can catch myself and go, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I don't need to. Been there, done that. So it's time it gives that in itself, is a whole new awareness, and going, oh, okay, I don't have to do that. And when we're talking in the self-love category, that's who I am. I am a feeler. I feel, I have a lot of tools, so I don't have to take on other people's stuff because mine's enough, So to acknowledge that's who I am.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, I've always doubted my intelligence. So for a lot of different reasons, but I remember years ago thinking, if I only had a better brain, I'd be okay in this world. And then one day I read in an astrological chart or something that Leos, which I am very much a Leo, their heart is their biggest asset. And that just changed things for me. And so now taking that to a whole new level, working with you, from the self-love perspective, I'm a lover.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so enjoy instead of fight it,
Right. Let's take ourselves as this lover, the Mexico retreat that you attended, and you got to meet and be held by and play with and take adventures by, be supported by our incredible community. What was that like for your self-worth, your self-love?
From the self-worth and self-love, from the self-worth from the outside, it was wonderful. And, absolutely just great people. We're all, I'm just going to switch gears for 1 second. One of the reasons that I love you and appreciate you so much is because what's the word? I can't even think of the word I want. Everything it's on the table. We know, you're transparent. That's the word I was looking for. So from in that experience, two things happen. One is just a stronger connection with everyone there. The other was, at that time, I was very overweight, and struggling with some physical things. And I came out of there and going, I am changing that. I am not going to the next retreat. I am going to the retreat, but I'm not going to go there where people think they have to help me up or hold my hand to walk with me, which was so lovely and loving. And so, yeah, it gave me that shift of, I want more.
Yeah.
I want so much more in my life, and it's up to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've lost how many? 25 pounds?
Actually 37 pounds.
37 pounds. Shane, you're becoming more and more your Shanist.
Yes, I am.
Wow. And I want to really, I want to go deeper into the self-worth, because you had been dating online, not attracting.
Just a few. I wasn't totally into it because I didn't feel a connection, first of all, but I think it started with me.
This is what I want to go deeper in, because yes, on the outside, we could say you dated a little bit and it didn't really work and you didn't really attract anybody aligned. But as you began to release the weight and allow yourself to be more open and vulnerable to the depth of love, intimacy, touch that you desired, what have you been experiencing as you release this weight and allow, hey, I desire great sex. I don't care if I'm 75, 85, 95, I'm having it.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us about your self-love of your body journey, the self-worth of your body, and the intimacy that you're now inviting, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of it.
That's a doozer, Allana. Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
All right, then.
Feel free to orgasm, whatever comes up.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I would say, first off, every night when I get in bed, I say, I love you, body. Thank you, body.
Oh, good.
Because my God, body has gifted me with losing this weight.
Yes.
And it's not that I couldn't be, physical with another person with the weight I was, because I couldn't, but I feel, I'm going to go back to, I think I could see myself from the outside.
Yeah.
And the inside, when I wrote my little profile and I liked it, it was fun. And it was a good representation of me, but it didn't have the depth that thanks to you, am starting to comprehend is available. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah. Tell us
Yeah,
more.
I mean, it's actually kind of bringing me to tears because
let's cry. It's all good.
Yeah, it's like I can ask for what I want, for one thing, that if I didn't know, I know more about how to ask for what I want thanks to your profile. Because there's so much depth, and not only did you, what I want to do, I'm going to shift it to myself because you're asking me, is to go deeper in what I want, what I need from somebody else, so that they know too, and they'll say, hey, yeah, this is great, or no, we're not,
Yeah.
And I've just been holding out because I want someone that's doing the work.
Sure. Same.
Doing it for many, many years and will continue. And I want a man. Yeah, a man is my preference. that also is doing the work, and it wants a deep love and a deep connection.
Yeah.
Mental, spiritually, mentally, physically. Oops, sorry. My phone. I didn't realize it was right there.
That's all right, love. Yeah. And sexually.
And sexually, that was next, but the phone rang. I think
That's
that's the most important. Oh, all right. Kind of like when you hear a bell, it means angel got their wings. You hear a phone, it means I'm going to get and give amazing physical, sexual relationship.
Get laid. I don't know.
And so it is.
Oh, tell us how I'm going to call it embodiment.
Mm-hmm.
You shed the weight. You've been feeling the emotions all the way through to feeling even more confident, more open, more willing to ask for what you want, more willing to let go of stories, when you first came that don't apply anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you're even feeling this energy of like even tears.
Yeah.
Tell me, tell everyone here, but tell us what do you, you've been married before. You've had relationships before. What are you aching for that you've never experienced in partnership?
Someone that adores me and allows me to adore them. And all that goes with that. It's being a good listener, it's being a good lover, it's embracing my son, our lives and where we can learn from each other because we're willing to share. And the one thing that I've really been working on is with you and my son too, is clear communication. So, and that's, I think there's a lot of passive aggressive things that come out of my mouth and I go, whoa, I'm so sorry, so I'm learning and to say what I want, what I need, and I'm excited about this. I'm really excited. I have so much to give somebody and the world, and it's not that I have to have a partner in my life, but I want one.
Yeah, I choose it.
Yeah, I choose it. Choose it.
Oh, you make a really good point to also bring in the energy of your son. When you started, we didn't really talk about your son much. And then he moved back in.
He just turned 31 2 weeks ago.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, Lucas is his name. And yes, he moved back in for a while because he has decided he needs to follow his passion of being a singer-songwriter. And I'm so excited for him.
Wow.
And so it's been an adjustment for both of us.
Yeah.
I have a whole downstairs, so he has his own kitchen and bathroom and all of that. And we certainly share a lot of things. But that again is, what a gift for many reasons. But the point that I'm making here is around learning clear communication.
Yeah. What have you learned in our work together that has allowed your relationship with him to deepen because of this communication?
First, before you say that, my son does the work.
Yes.
He is very proactive to be his Lucasist. So what I have learned is whether I like it or not, I am a leader. And so to sit in that's not making me better than anybody else. It's just, and to
lead my life.
To sit in that place, trust my knowingness, to believe in myself on a different level, I think, a deeper level. Does that answer your question?
A little bit, but let's keep going deeper. Something just happened to your voice that kind of, I'm going to call it, got sort of velvety and receptive there. I don't know if you felt it, but there's something going on when you really own your leadership. My experience of you, Shane, is that you soften and you open and you speak your truth without having to control it. You're like the embodiment of the feminine leadership, the invitational leadership, the inviting leadership, because we don't need to talk about details, but he revealed information that any person could have easily judged. And you didn't. And that non-judgmental, unconditionally loving, feminine leadership space, safe communication, I believe, inspired him to share and to take action and to improve his life because of your way of being. I think a lot of mothers or spouses, when a partner or a child shares difficult information, we can judge them. We can judge what did we do that led to them doing that. We could not be with it and disassociate. We could do a lot of things, but I don't think that's what you did. So if you could, while staying anonymous or whatever would happen, who are you being that allowed him to feel so safe to share all that with you? And how did you get there?
It's a combination of, well, first of all, stepping back and realizing, I think the biggest deal of being a parent for me is remembering that your child is on their own journey.
Yeah.
As am I. And to, I just always said, let me be the best mother I can for Lucas, not, and give it up.
Yeah.
But, so there's the mom energy, the love that's of a mom that's just incredible.
Yeah.
And I respect him.
Oh, that's huge.
We're learning so much from each other.
Yeah.
And one thing that I really you can't try, but I believe that one of the most important ways to be in this world is gracious.
Thank you.
So I do my best.
Yeah. Well, we all fall down and then we get back up and we're stronger and we've learned and we've grown. But
Exactly.
to know
fall down is a gift.
Yeah.
If we choose to look at it that way.
Yes. What's right about it? What's
Yeah.
the gift in it? Yeah. Thank you for who you're being, inviting him back in, co-creating this world together, cleaning up the house together, having your 75th party together, and being this safe space for him to reveal difficult things and be so beautifully loved, received, supported.
I will speak to that. Something that I am absolutely still learning from you is to listen and say thank you and not project and I got to tell you, this is a big test for me because I can see something and I go, what about? And he goes, Mom, I got it. I know what I want, so to just stand back, listen and say thank you. And that creates a safer place.
Yeah.
Continues to create a safer place.
Yeah.
And unless he asks me, Lucas, you're going to watch this someday and you're going to go, it's about time, Mom. But anyway,
I'm on her, Lucas. Don't worry.
Yeah. But, just to learning to listen, to really listen, because I've been so ADD all my life that I always panic when something comes to me, I panic that I'm going to forget it. And I want to say it, so that's where a lot of interrupting and, that kind of thing. So it's just a new awareness. Thank you.
Yeah. And just stay present and just receive them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for that also.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No. Tell me about the ADD. When we first started, I'm going to reflect that my experience was that something would arise within you, an uncomfortable feeling, and then you'd leave your body and you'd go into your head and then you'd judge yourself and you had a lot of proof of how things went in the past. And it took me a while to get you back here, integrate the feeling, drop you in and access the wisdom that is you. Always has been you. And I'm noticing that doesn't really happen very much anymore.
This is good.
This is good.
Yeah. All right.
And I don't know if we want to label it as an ADD kind of experience or something, but to me, all the work that you've been doing, you stay in your body more. Even if an emotion arises, you just breathe and you stay here and you don't go up and make yourself wrong for it, deflect, blame yourself for others. And you seem to be able to channel deeper wisdom for another in your coaching capacity or for yourself in your self-love capacity. Do you feel more embodied? Do you feel less spinning in your head? Do you feel more in your heart, in your hips? Do you feel
moving on down?
But how do you notice your quote unquote symptoms lessening at all?
I do. It's the day to day that, kind of can be interesting, but I just lost what I was just going to say because yes, the feelings now, I I get information. We all get information in different ways. And I'm realizing that at this time in my life,
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more information. When I find myself tearing up or crying, I know that's my soul saying, you're right on, stay with it.
Pay attention. Yep.
Whether it's for me or somebody else, it's just pay attention. So, so I'm honoring that. And I also get information from music too. You want a cute story?
Tell me. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and make it quick. One day I'm driving along and I hear the song. They say that breaking up is hard to do. That song.
Uh-huh.
So I'm singing away. Day 2, I hear it again. I go, wow, that's a hoot. Day 3, I hear it again, and I'm singing away, but going. Day 4,
No.
I heard it again, and I walked in and asked my husband for a divorce because that's what I was supposed to do, and I couldn't do it. But that music got me there.
Wow. Stay there with me. So the universe clearly speaks loudly and doesn't care if it needs 4 times, 7 times, whatever.
Exactly. I ask it to speak loud so I can hear it, or see it or whatever.
I don't think I've ever asked you why you knew that was your deepest truth. I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Divorce, you mean?
Yeah.
I'd known for many years, but I just couldn't imagine living Lucas 1 week off and 1 week, with me. And when he was 18, he goes, Mom, come on, just get a divorce. He goes, you need to get a divorce. You raised me fine. I turned out well. It's okay. You can go get a divorce. But I still couldn't quite do it. I mean, we didn't fight all the time or anything.
Yeah.
It's there was, he, in 18 years of marriage, he never once took me out on a date. That kind of thing where I just finally went, but I was wanted a baby more than anything in the world. And I chose a good man. He was a beautiful man. He was just very damaged, as was I. We worked, but now I'd be a different person in that relationship, but that doesn't mean it would work.
Yeah.
But I feel better about who I am.
Yeah.
In any relationship.
So your self-worth, in order to...
I was out of it then.
Yeah. So your self-worth has increased because you honored yourself by releasing that relationship. Did I get that right?
Absolutely. And by releasing the marriage, we could love each other. And we loved each other very much after that. And when he got sick, there's no place where I would have been except by his side.
Holy, that is profound, Shane.
It was, we became closer and we could see each other and love each other. Wow. I still cut his hair all the way. I'd always cut his hair. I kept cutting his hair. Every Sunday night we'd watch a TV program together, because we loved each other. And it made it so easy made it easier for Lucas. And that was part of our plan too.
Wow.
I know that we all have lots of contracts when we come in. We sign contracts before we come into this world. That's what I believe anyway. I don't think very often we get the opportunity to be really clear. I completed a contract. I knew I'd be taking care of him when he was sick.
Wow.
I knew for years. And that's part of why I wanted to get divorced, because I thought if you get sick on my watch right now, I'm going to be angry. And I don't want to be angry.
Got it.
Wow. So then when he got sick, I could just totally love him.
Holy Shane. Wow.
It was a new paradigm.
Was there something you forgave yourself for in order to give yourself permission to be divorced, but also fall into greater friendship? Was there anything, was it more of a worth thing or a forgiveness thing?
I don't know if it was either. I don't know. I didn't need to forgive myself for that.
Good.
I mean, I have forgiven myself for being so, if I don't do it, nobody will. I'm marching around my house like that. And so I forgive myself for that because that made it harder to be together. So, I think, I was angry about a divorce lawyer. I'd call him in tears and go, you know what she's doing now? And he'd call her up and say, please don't do that. But I just think that we had a child together, and so for him and ultimately for ourselves, we got to express love in a lovely way.
Yeah. And by divorcing, you were able to love him, sounds like more, and love you more.
Yes.
And Lucas got to see that transition,
Yes.
transcendence, transformation.
Yes.
Wow. So beautiful.
Yeah.
And how would you say now, as you're moving into, because we haven't rewritten your profile yet, but we will.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully you're going to be coming out this side of the country.
Yeah.
We get to hang out together, and do a nice VIP day together. How is the work that we're doing supporting you to show up again for love?
We have calls once a week, and there's a few of us on the calls, and just to hear what other people are experiencing. I mean, there's no one way for relationships. And so just, I think, reminding me and seeing what someone's going through to go, would I handle that way, or would I do it differently? Because I'm me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the opportunity, there's so many opportunities for growth in, working with you, Allana. It's just so, and I welcome opportunities for growth. I want to be, as I've told you, my shanest.
Yep.
And that to me is source, soul, my heart,
Yeah.
Never said it like that. So I don't know but yeah. So and I'm not saying this is, some of it's the pits and really hard work. And some of it is just, oh, I get it. I want to do that, or I don't want to do that. And I see why that is so. And certainly doing the processes, going deeper.
Yeah.
And when something comes out in a process, I go, I had no idea.
Aren't there so many blind spots that those processes reveal? Yeah.
They do. And just, the opportunity to help other people too.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being such a great participant in the group calls and at the retreats, and being such a great coach and serving others and going so deep with our other coaches, and for the reflections you gave me. Like on the call yesterday, I lost my shit. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? And so maybe for people that are like, wow, I'm interested in seeing what it would be like to coach with Allana, just give them a cautionary warning that I'm very real. And that's one of the things you're
totally transparent. And I mean, if you're having a good day, I'm having a great day. Let's go for it. If you're having a rough time, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
Yes, you could say
that. This day isn't going quite the way I had planned at all.
Yeah.
So then you'll take a second, or I will, if it's me, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And go, how to work through, how are we going to take a moment and work out of that?
Yeah.
Acknowledge it and maybe come out the other side.
Yeah.
Or work with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I literally self-process in front of everybody. It only took maybe like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But if I didn't, I wouldn't have been as present as I choose to be, as real. And I also want the work that we do here with intimacy to be able to bring those skills into a relationship. So you don't come home and say, how are you? And you say, fine, and you're not, because the person goes, you're not fine. I know you're not fine. And then they can make it mean about themselves. What did I do wrong? And it can turn into this huge ordeal. But when we can start in these community calls and in the one-on-one calls, being honest and being real, then we can use that skill to be brave, keep our walls down, heart open with our partner, and just say, I need a minute. Or would you hold space? Or I need to walk around the block. Like, we can ask for what we need so we can be two whole people coming together.
Well, and there's more than just asking for what we need. First, you got to have an idea of what you need.
True. You need to be
connected to yourself. That minute or that time or a month. Yeah. To go, oh, this is what I really need. This is what I need. And whether it's from your need from yourself or you need from, another person in your life. Yeah. Because that's, I think, it's so easy in my experience. Yeah. Push things aside.
Sure.
Even things like after my birthday, 2 days I nothing but sugar. And I think it was taking in all that love. I mean, there were only 15 of us. It wasn't this huge party, but I felt so loved and acknowledged. And for 2 days I ate sugar. And just the third day it was just like, oh my God, really, Shane? Maybe you're done with that. I don't know. But it was taking in So I think, I hope I didn't change it, but it's acknowledging wherever we are, what's
Yeah.
going, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter,
Without shame.
until we make it matter, because, we've maybe a step away from that self-love place.
Right. Yeah. That's a
Which
great
can-
point. That's a great point. How we come back to self-love is not through self-judgment, right? It's through the allowance that we practice, the compassion we practice, and the brave facing, feeling, integrating, and growing up and spiritually maturing and opening up to receive even more.
I'm thinking about something in my spiritual practice, meeting with different people, and I cry a lot. And I sometimes was embarrassed because I'm crying, and I had multiple people come up to me and say, thank you for crying, because I couldn't, or I can't. So I'm using this as an example, not about me, but about we each have our gifts.
Yeah.
And we not even know what they are. And sometimes someone's will show you, like the friends did to me. And also, since I'm such a talker, would say, thank you for asking questions. Maybe that's where the ADD came in handy, is because I didn't understand. And so I keep asking questions, but then people would come up to me and say, thank you for asking questions. I couldn't do that. So like I said, this is not about me. It's about each of us realizing that when we're true to ourselves, and
Yes.
I hope I'm listening, we gift.
Yes.
Just by being ourselves. That's why God put us on this planet, to be our unique selves, not like anybody else.
Exactly. And I'm thinking of your unique self as we were in Mexico at the retreat, and you were on the couch and you're just taking it all in. And you were like this vortex, like the great mother herself of the universe. And then there was Christina, and then there was me. And then before we know, there's like 14 people in your lap.
We stayed there.
Yes.
We just hung out, just all hugging and loving each other. Yeah.
So nice. And I really want to reflect, you were the invitational energy,
Thank you.
that feminine, alluring, receptive, kind, safe place for all of us. And such a reflection of how you've come home even more. I mean, you're already so evolved when you came to work with me and the group. And I've just seen a depth of receptivity for all that you desire. And from the beauty that you are, and the beautiful dress from 25 years ago that you still fit into, that you're wearing. And
I know, I feel like standing up and showing you the whole thing. It goes like this. It's really pretty.
Well, you may, if you want to show us your cute ass, that's totally fine.
I don't think it'll be that graceful. Trying to get up.
We'll leave it as an alluring invitation
Me,
for,
yeah,
for any gentleman that would like.
To know is nothing, to imagine is everything. Just imagine I am just gorgeous in this dress.
Oh, yes. And how that must feel to a special
really
hands. Yes. So, well, this isn't like a matchmaker interview. I do want any gentlemen watching who are interested in this. Goddess is single. And so do follow up. If do you want to tell them where you live? Does it?
Sure. I live in Shoreline, Washington, which is just about 20 minutes north of Seattle.
Yes.
On a little lake.
Washington.
On a beautiful little lake. Yep.
Yes. And you sleep on your
deck. And I be receiving.
What's that?
I'm receiving.
And you're receiving your man. Exactly. So thank you so much for sharing all these different stories of our dance together. I love you and I appreciate you. You're such a contribution to my life. How would you like to complete, in terms of anybody that's watching this, to consider joining our family, our coaching community, doing the deep work? Why does this work matter? What would you say to them?
I would say, if it calls to you, do it. I had no idea what I was getting into, but when I say calls to you, I think it's important for everyone to give back, whatever that means to them. And by joining you, I've learned more skills, many skills, on how to be more present, or I just feel like giving back. We all have stuff. We all need help. I mean, tell me anyone in the Olympics that doesn't have 1 or 10 coaches.
Right.
So, and Allana is a master coach, a master, a grandmaster coach. And you can see how real she is. And you've done the work for how many years now you've been doing this?
Oh, well over 20. Yeah. 20,
Yeah.
25 years. Yeah.
And you know what you're doing. And it's not by rote. You take a class, it's not by rote because we're all different. So things they evolve, and you allow for that space for us to, sit in the fire, sit there and go, what's I keep starting to say that, or come out and go, oh, wow, is that really me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't always know what's in our past. And sometimes that needs to come up and sometimes it doesn't. So if you want to have fun, we definitely have fun. And if this calls to you to make yourself available for other people to shine also. Look at how beautiful you are.
Thank you. You bring up a great point that this giving, we can't give from empty.
Yeah.
And we can only give from wholeness. And the work that we're doing to have this intimate relationship with ourselves, it's like coming home into wholeness with the theme of loving ourselves as we are and as we're not. Forgiving ourselves. We've always done our best, and allowing our worth to, radiate even more. Then we can give from the overflow. Then we can play together and give even more, as we're like this symphony together as a community at these retreats and on these group calls. Yeah. So thank you that more of Shane is shaning because of this work.
Yes.
Yeah. You are more radiant every time we get together.
Oh, well, I thank you.
You really are, Shane. You really are. Yeah. So I love you with all.
Well, it's just, we're real.
Yeah.
With all our stuff, with all our baggage, with all our wisdom. Yeah. All of it. And, like I said in the beginning, I had not a clue who you were. I watched, 5 minutes of a podcast and went, well, I like her. I think I want to know her. And then that wasn't even you that got me there, but I was ready. Yeah. It was time to do something different for moving forward. Yeah. And I'm so eternally grateful that I did.
So am I. And we're still getting started. We're going to get that profile updated and support you in receiving your ideal partner for this next beautiful phase of your life.
Yeah, I know it's a new beginning. I mean, I feel it's a new chapter in my life so clearly, and I'm very excited.
Yeah. Can't wait to meet him. Can't wait for him to come on the next retreat with us.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty amazing, pretty awesome.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you for being on this journey with us today as we learned what it was like for a woman who's in her, you wouldn't know it, but who's in her 70s, who has so much more to learn and grow and evolve and give and receive and love her body and her sensuality. And this is what's possible when we have this deeper level of intimate wholeness and relationship with ourselves. So if this resonates, reach out to me. I would love to meet you and see if we're a fit for you to join this incredible family. And
you will not be sorry.
Yeah.
And I get to meet you too, whoever you are.
Exactly. And and in conclusion, Shane, thank you you have my back and you see me in ways that really, really nourishes my soul. So thank you. Thank you so much.
The same to you, darling. Thank you so very much.
Just a little love puddle around here.
It is kind of a little love in.
A juicy love puddle. All right. Until next time on Intimate Conversations, thank you for the honor of loving the shit out of you. See you next week on Intimate Conversations. Get out there and make love to life. So the joke is I can't cook, which is not totally true. It's just that I only have like a couple recipes up my sleeve. And so I'm roasting Brussels sprouts and roasted potatoes. And I just finished my VIP with a male client, and another female client's coming out next weekend. And then Shane from the podcast is coming out once I figure out the next place I'm gonna live. And I'm just reminded, like, the joy of the interview, but the joy she brings in, especially in community.
She's coming to our next retreat in Costa Rica. She was at our last retreat in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And she's kind of like the den mother. The fun, juicy, delicious, loving, heart-centered den mama. And I'm thinking, oh my God, she's lost almost 40 pounds since Mexico. And releasing, when we release emotions, our body can fall into alignment. We can more easily release weight, people, systems, structures, beliefs, like the whole thing, body, mind, spirit. So I'm really excited to see her cute, lean body in Costa Rica and enjoy adventures with her. And I'm just gonna put it out there because there's an extra space if Shane's beloved is watching this, somebody that lives, well, who knows, it doesn't really matter these days, does it? But anyway, she lives like in Washington near Seattle. But what if, I'm just gonna put it out there to the magical universe, what if between the airing of this podcast and somebody who sees this podcast, who's on my list or is in the world watching my podcast, sees Shane, is like, oh my God, that's my woman. And you guys get to know each other and you decide to come to the intimacy retreat in Costa Rica. If not this year, next year, but I'm still gonna go for it for this year. So yeah, when I do these podcasts celebrating my clients, sometimes they have these beautiful gifts and skills, like the month where Melissa as breath work, for example, or Carla with her voiceover work. Shane, my request in terms of Shane is if you, or even somebody maybe it's your dad, if you feel the love that's possible, contact me. I'll connect you with her, and we'll let the divine matchmaking of the Intimate Conversations podcast have its way with this beautiful woman who is ready for love. And if you are ready for love too, and you're like, wow, this community, this work that Allana does works, I would love to meet you. So you know how to contact me, allanapratt.com/connect, so we can have an intimacy breakthrough experience. Okay, there it is. See, I can't multitask. I'm a lady, but I can't talk to you and cut Brussels sprouts at the same time. So off I go to finish my lunch. I love you with all my heart.